Uh, but first, thanks for all you do, um, on behalf of these really important issues for our infrastructure, for our entire state, which are so critical. So what I'll just do for a few minutes, if it's okay with you, is kind of give an overview of some of my thoughts on that. Some of that is conversations with some of you, which I really value and appreciate any additional feedback as well. Feel free to weigh in anytime with me and my campaign team. And if I'm elected governor, obviously looking forward to working with you in that capacity as well. I have been to all 39 counties and campaigning for governor, going back to second time all 39 counties. So I know our roads and systems well from traveling the state. And hey, know firsthand that we've got really tremendous safety and maintenance needs on our roads and our highways in every corner of our state. And one thing I just will say at the outset is that in addressing these issues, we need to be able to do what I think the state's done a pretty good job of historically, which is work together in a bipartisan fashion to really address these critical investments. I think that's been a hallmark of state legislature so far. And just, in brief, before I was Attorney General, I was on the King County Council. Budget's a bit smaller than the state budget, but was proud on the King County Council where we have a full range of political viewpoints. I can assure you on the King County Council back when I was on there, hey, when I was budget chair, we got budgets passed in a bipartisan, I think even unanimous fashion to address all the needs we had, right, as a county. As an attorney general, I can propose legislation to the state legislature. AG requests legislation just like the governor can or other statewide officials. I think in my 12 years, 49 bills have been signed into law. I think all but 3 of them were bipartisan. I think a core of them had prime sponsors who were Republicans. Look, I don't have to reach out to Republicans to prime sponsor the bills I'm working on, but I did that because I'm trying to signal to the legislature that, hey, I want to work in a bipartisan fashion. And I found that to be an especially productive way to get good legislation adopted through the legislature and signed by the governor. So that's been my approach in the past as a King County Council member, as a budget chair, and certainly as Attorney General. But I think as a legislature, we've passed that critical transportation packages in past years with a focus on the basics and attracting a broad coalition of support to ensure we're making the right kinds of investments. And I'm looking forward to working with all of you on the next iteration of the plan to make sure we meet current needs and invest in our economy, our community, our environment, and our workforce. So look, my priorities for transportation and infrastructure, in a nutshell, will be informed by organizations like yours, by individuals like you. You're the experts. You're the folks who can help help us align our needs and our outcomes with budgetary and revenue realities, which of course we face as a state. So the need, as I don't need to tell any of you, is huge. And the work we'll need to be doing is critical to making sure we get that right. So here are just a few sort of foundational places I start in addressing these needs. So number one, hey, protecting 18th Amendment investments, that's basic, that's core, ensuring that gas and fuel taxes remain dedicated to road and bridge repair and maintenance. Now, those revenues are shrinking, but we have to make sure that they are put to the needs on our roads and highways and that those are not diverted. Number two, we need to be open to looking to other revenue sources. I encourage you to check out the Seattle Times has been doing a series of stories on a wide range of different issues. And one recently was around transportation. I was the only candidate in that Seattle Times transportation profile a few weeks ago who expressed an openness to fee structures, or other tools to fill the gaps in our revenue structure. We got to be honest, right? We have tremendous needs and we need to make sure we're addressing those. Number three, we need to do a better job of prioritization and preventative maintenance, extending the pavement life cycles and reducing costs and disruptions of full replacement and rebuilds. So looking forward to working with you on that and prioritizing those to make sure we're addressing those issues as well. Number four, I want our transportation investments to reflect our values, which for me, sort of in the broadest terms, would be the following. One, a thriving economy, right? Connecting people and goods to jobs and trade statewide. This statewide focus on protecting and expanding Washington manufacturing, agricultural technology, and energy jobs, that's integral to my campaign, to my message, and will certainly be bedrock if I'm elected as your governor. Two, a safe state. Reducing the incidents as one example of roadway fatalities, whether that's on car or on foot or on bikes. So we need to be building an infrastructure that helps keep all Washingtonians safe. And third, a sustainable future. Look, there's been a lot of discussion around the Climate Commitment Act and the future of that act. You know, number one, I want to be clear, I oppose the repeal of the Climate Commitment Act. Look, I think you just heard from Dave Reichert. He supports repealing it. I think that's a step in the wrong direction for our future of our state and for investments that CCA can assist on many of the issues that we care about. So I think we have to be realistic about making sure that we have revenues to support the tremendous investments we need to make. And I don't think it's enough to just say, well, I'm going to support a repeal of the Climate Commitment Act without any plan for how we're going to fill in those budget gaps. If we're going to be responsible about how we're going forward as a state to address the big challenges that we have. So maybe I'll just conclude by saying, look, I'm not naive to the challenges we have as a state on addressing big projects we have. What's on our plate right now, I-20, I-90 completion, you name it. Those are big projects. But I think with the philosophy I've outlined, with the expertise that all of you have, I think we can get there. I think I've demonstrated that in my past as a leader at the county council level and as Attorney General, and that's where we need to go forward, moving forward as well. And so where I'll conclude is where I started, is how much I appreciate all of you, the work you do, the conversations I've had with many of you. Look forward to more of those. I know Christian Sinnerman from my team is on here as well. Many of you know him. Feel free to reach out to Christian. Feel free to reach out to me directly. Billy's got my cell number, info@bobferguson.com. You get the idea. A lot of ways to reach out and just really look forward to those conversations. And again, if I'm honored to be elected as governor, I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you and making sure we adopt these policies and these budgets that meet the challenges that we face as a state. Thanks so much. Again, I know you're super busy with your meetings, so I really appreciate you giving me just a few minutes to say a few words, and I hope you all have a great day. Thanks so much, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Bob. You got time for just a quick question, maybe 30 seconds?
Sure, yeah, what you got?
Go ahead. Former president of the Washington Good Road, Will Kinetic.
General, the past two transportation secretaries have indicated that we've been underfunding preservation and maintenance of roads for over two decades. And there's an accumulated underfunding of at least $11 billion. Now, the Department of Transportation says that creates a backlog of about $20 billion worth of backlogged underfunded preservation budgets. We've been underfunding consistently the last few years at $1 billion per year. Engineer standard heuristic, which is that there's $3 to $5 worth of costs for each dollar you underfund. That $1 billion that you underfunded in actually $900 million in the last legislative session for the short-term budget created somewhere in the order of $3 billion at a minimum, $5 billion of costs that are pushed forward to the next generation. Do you have any kind of commitment to seeing that we don't continue to underfund at $1 billion per year? Because we can't start undoing what's been done until we stop digging the hole deeper.
I agree with that. And I think one of the things I mentioned, I'm sorry if I was kind of going through quickly because I want to keep this relatively brief, but hey, that ongoing sort of maintenance, what you're talking about there, that we're falling further behind. Yes, that's not, from a budget standpoint, not smart, and would want to work with all of you on making sure we're addressing that in a responsible way. Look, what I would just say is that in my time as Attorney General, I've expanded work we've done as Attorney General in all sorts of different areas. I'll spare you the details, but I didn't do that by going to the legislature and asking for more money. Found ways within our budget to make sure we could do the kind of work I thought we should do on behalf of the people. As a King County Council member, as King County Budget Chair, it was the same deal. Working across the aisle, working with Republicans to make sure we're doing responsible budgeting. So yes, in terms of addressing that, look forward to working with you on that and make sure we're not falling further behind.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you for the question.
Bob.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks again for your time, and get back out there on the trail.
Thanks a lot, you guys. Really appreciate it. Have a great day.